Oshkosh Media is government programming on GovTV, community programming on Life TV, and community radio on Oshkosh FM 101.9.
Welcome to the City Manager's Report, a look at city updates and a preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda.
And thanks for joining us for another edition of the City Manager's Report. I'm Andy Radig, and in a moment we'll be joined by City Manager Mark Roloff. As usual, in the first half of today's show, we'll have some municipal news updates, including information from city departments and news happening in Oshkosh. In the second half, we'll highlight items from the upcoming Tuesday, January 24th Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda. And with that, we bring in our City Manager, Mark Roloff. Mark, thanks for joining us today.
Great to be here, Andy.
All right. Well, we have some interesting different topics to talk about today. One is that I know that our Oshkosh Fire Department has been very busy, and over the last year, they actually set a record for service calls.
It's kind of a milestone, but it really demonstrates a trend that's going on. The Oshkosh Fire Department exceeded 10,000 calls for service in 2022, and that is clearly a new record for us. The official number is about 10,405. That averages out to 29 calls a day, and it's a 15% increase since 2019, but even from last year, from 2021, it's still an 8% increase. So it demonstrates that even though there may have been a little blip with COVID, we have more than recovered, and it's actually much higher than it's ever been.
Mm-hmm. And I know that falls are actually a large part of the reason for those calls.
You know, we have an increasing population, but it's also increasingly an aging population. Mm-hmm. And because falls account for 30% of all of our calls, that as our population ages, the likelihood of falls increases. So I'm really proud of the fire department recognizing that as an issue. Mm-hmm. Doing fall prevention is something that has been a focus of theirs, and they're going to continue to do that. And anything risk reduction wise. Earlier last year we had the Mugs for Rugs program.
Right.
It was just one way to draw attention to fall prevention as being very important. And it's not just about minimizing the number of fire calls. That's certainly important to folks like me, but it's also important for our residents because the first fall statistics show really starts a spiral, a negative spiral for somebody where other health complications get created where they didn't exist before. Mm-hmm. Broken hips, which leads to lack of mobility, which leads to greater chance of having heart disease and things like that because you're not getting enough exercise. It's those building blocks in a very negative way. Mm-hmm. So we want to do everything we can so that people can continue to live independent lives, and fall prevention is a big part of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's great that the fire department recognizes that there are things that they can do to try to assist people to avoid these situations in the first place. Okay, the Winnebago County Health Department is hosting a COVID-19 vaccine clinic, and that's over at the Oshkosh Senior Center. We just want to make folks aware of that.
Yeah, we're very pleased to work with the County Health Department to make vaccinations available. So this is, again, it's over at the South Building, 200 North Campbell, Classroom A. If you get in there and you forget the classroom, they'll direct you. Just ask where the clinic is. They're only offering the Pfizer vaccine at these clinics, but it'll be Wednesday, January 25th and February 1st from 9 a.m. to noon. So there's no appointment. You just walk in. But you can get your first, second boost, and your booster doses are available. So if you have a vaccine card, please bring it, and we can certainly happy to take care of you. We encourage individuals that are over the age of 65 or immunocompromised really stay up to date with your COVID-19 vaccinations.
Right. But that being said, anyone age 6 months or older is actually available, are able to come in. The booster and the primary vaccines are available for those folks.
Yeah, so even if you're not a senior, it's not just for seniors just because it's at the senior center.
Right, right. And for additional information about the vaccination clinics that the health department offers, wcvaccine.org actually has a list of all the locations where folks can receive their vaccinations. Okay, also over at the Oshkosh Senior Center, they are having an open house for the Fox Fitness Center. And, they really have quite a setup over there. And this is a great opportunity for folks to explore this and to see what's available.
Well, again, it's all about keeping people with an active lifestyle. So the Senior Center and Network Health are hosting this open house on Thursday, January 26th from noon to 3 p.m. And this is at the Senior Center North Building, 234 North Campbell. I actually took a look at it last year. There are some great things there. There's some great equipment at the Fox Fitness Center. And so you can learn about what equipment's there. You can get a little orientation on how to use it. And then there's going to be other demonstrations and a lot of information on wellness, particularly senior wellness. And the fun part is there's also going to be door prizes and other information and a lot of participants that are going to be holding booths there to learn things about wellness or retirement issues. Certainly we want to encourage people to attend to it. I'm telling you, the Fox Fitness Center has some great facilities. It's an ideal place for those of 50 years or older to stay fit. And you get to do it with other people who have similar needs and limitations like you when you hit that age. But it really is a great place. And then you can sign up for equipment orientation, which is really to get you into the habit of doing it as well.
Mm-hmm. And of course, there are some incentives to visit. There are some door prizes and some other interesting things there. And a lot of the partners from the Senior Center in the community will be there. So looks like to be a very good event. So encourage folks to stop by. Noon to 3 on January 26th. Okay, Mark, one other item that we've seen a little bit of buzz in social media about is that there's a lot of work that's happening at the corner of 9th and Washburn. And if you can just give us a little bit of information about what's happening over there. Yeah,
well, it used to be a bank over there, and so that building has gone down. So that got a lot of interest. But this has already been reviewed and approved by the Plan Commission, but it's going to be a Scooters coffee shop. There was a recent rezoning that was done, and the Plan Commission has already approved this. So that was the big buzz. At Scooters is a new offering for coffee shops in this area. So I think they saw that being at the intersection near Interstate 41, that this was a big deal. Mm-hmm. And then in addition to the fact that we're satisfying people's inquisitiveness about what's going on at the corner, there was also some stuff on social media that the city was selling off their pond at 9th and Washburn. I want to tell you that is not the case. We actually had some excess land when we purchased this property that this development over there by Scooters was able to take advantage of to give them a little more breathing room. But the pond that you see before you is alive and well and will remain alive and well. This has actually been a very successful pond. This is in the Campbell Creek watershed, and I talk about all the different watersheds. This isn't Sawyer Creek. It's close, but it's not Sawyer Creek, and it has really helped the immediate area to the west and to the south for flood control and flood prevention. So this will remain in place, and I wanted to assure everybody that's the case. But a little sliver of land will give Scooters more breathing room, so coffee shop, and we're still going to have stormwater retention. What a great combination,
it's
right?
It's a great combination. And, for those homeowners, those stormwater ponds are very important. And speaking of homeowners, we have an informational program about incentive programs for Oshkosh homeowners. And there are a lot of programs that are available from the city that folks might not be aware of.
Right. We're concerned that we want people to stay in their homes and invest in their homes, and sometimes they may not be aware of different programs that we have. So, and the other exciting part is we want to do an in-person presentation this time, so you can get into details with questions that you might have, but there's going to be an in-person presentation on Wednesday, January 25th at 5:30 p.m. So we're real excited about that, and that is over at the Oshkosh Convention Center. We do ask that you register in advance so we get, we just know how many people. You can contact Ann Schaefer at 920-232-5306. And it sounds like you guys are covering it on GovTV as well for future showing, so that people can watch that program and if they want to learn more, and then follow up with one of our staff.
That's correct. We will be recording this for Oshkosh Media for GovTV, and so the program will be there available, but the opportunity to ask questions and to interact with staff will be there on January 25th. So.
And there are loans and incentives designed to encourage the home ownership or home improvements and investing in housing stock. So we want people, especially if you may be hesitant because maybe you don't have enough money, if this incentive gets you over the top, then we certainly want you to take a look at it. And
also, I know that folks are encouraged to attend that have backgrounds with mortgage lending or real estate, those types of areas as well. So this is open to a lot of folks here. Okay, another interesting thing that we wanted to point out, and we talk about different things happening in the city. One is the Oshkosh Restaurant Week is taking place January 19th through the 29th.
This has really taken off. This is a 10-day celebration of culinary excellence here in Oshkosh, and there's actually 33 restaurants participating this year.
Quite a few.
That's a huge increase. And the restaurants are offering a breakfast option, 3-course lunch options, and 3-course dinner options. And I know there's a lot of information online, but the real interesting thing is some of the options that are available are things that are typically not found on a restaurant's everyday menu. So they're kind of using the guests, the customers as little test kitchen type of thing to see if anything else gets their interest. So lots of different options that are available. So we certainly want people to be aware of that. And there's no tickets or pre-registration required, but a lot of the restaurants are recommending that you do reservations.
And on discoveroshkosh.com, all the restaurant menus are posted, as we're taking a look at on the video. So you can peruse the menus and see what interests you and figure out which ones you'd like to go and visit. So kind of an exciting thing coming up.
Yeah, and if you haven't been to some of these restaurants ever or not in a long while, you'll be able to reintroduce yourself to those restaurants and see all that they have to offer. So great local restaurants, and we're excited to be promoting this promotion as well.
Sure. And while on the website, you can also take a look at the new visitor's guide. We have a paper copy of it right here, and these are available around the city in different locations. I believe even the lobby of City Hall has some of these, but that visitor's guide is really awesome. It has a lot of great information about the city, and it has all the new branding in it. So take a look for the visitor's guide around town or online right there, and you can check that out also. Okay, we also just wanted to make note, Mark, that curbside Christmas tree collection is not complete yet. There is one more week coming up, so if folks still have their Christmas tree and they'd like to dispose of it, they can take advantage of this.
Yeah, we do it on staggered weeks, so the week of January 23rd to 27th is your last chance. So they'll be picked up on your regular garbage collection day. That's important. Please remove it from any plastic bags. Get rid of the decorations, lights, tree stand. Please, especially since it snowed recently, it must not be covered with snow. So, if you can get it out of there, that would be great. And of course, this is for real tree collection, so artificial or flock trees will not be accepted. But you can also, if you don't want to wait for us to swing by, you can also drop it off at our yard waste drop-off site. You have to have a sticker for that, but if you wanted to just get it out of your yard and not have to worry about it, you can do that as well. And that's our yard waste drop-off site on West 3rd Avenue.
Okay, all right. Well, one other item we wanted to point out is that the State of the City 2023 is coming up on Monday, March 13th. So again, we are coming back to an in-person program this year.
Real exciting that we're going to be able to do it in person again. It's so fun to be able to interact with residents and chat with them. And you'll learn about cities, your city and our goals for the coming year. And also we have a city exhibit expo where you get to meet all the different departments and learn about different programs and everything. It's really a fun, upbeat event. But I know, Andy, you're doing a lot of work behind the scenes to prepare for this. So why don't you tell us about some of that?
Well, one thing we would like to encourage folks to go to the hot topics on the city's website, and folks can comment on what they would like to have addressed in the program this year. They can say what they think is being done well in the city and what needs improvement, and all of that feedback will help us address these issues in the presentation. So
it is really eye-opening, some of the comments and suggestions we get. So we honestly do take a look at those things.
We do.
And part of it is, if we're going to improve, we have to recognize where we need to improve. And so we get some of these ideas, and it gives us an opportunity to either explain what we're doing or how we can address that issue in the future. So I'm really excited about that, but I really am looking forward to just interacting with people. The doors are going to open at 6. Presentation begins around 6:30, but just being able to mill around and chat with people is a lot of fun, and it's one of my favorite times of the year.
Well, we'll have more information to come, and keep everybody up to date with plans for State of the City. Okay, it's time for us to take a short break, and as we go to break, here are some reminders about snow shoveling requirements in the city of Oshkosh. We'll be right back.
Oshkosh Restaurant Week is a 10-day celebration of the culinary excellence in Oshkosh, featuring 33 participating restaurants. From January 19th through the 29th, patrons can choose from either a breakfast option for $12, a 3-course lunch option for $17, or a 3-course dinner option for $29. Many of the Restaurant Week menus will feature multiple options for each of the 3 courses that are not typically found on the restaurant's everyday menu. No tickets or pre-registration is required, but reservations are recommended. Just ask for the Restaurant Week menu. Thanks to a sponsorship from 4 Imprint, when individuals dine out 3 or more times, they can receive a special tumbler commemorating the week while supplies last. For more details and menus, go to discoveroshkosh.com. Discover the variety in the local dining scene with Oshkosh Restaurant Week, January 19th to the 29th.
Welcome back to the City Manager's Report. I'm Andy Radig, along with City Manager Mark Roloff. Let's turn our attention to the agenda items from the upcoming Tuesday, January 24th Oshkosh Common Council meeting. And Mark, that meeting is on January 24th. It starts off with a few different items, and there is a proclamation that evening.
Yeah, it's for Transit Equity Day, and actually it's on the anniversary in 1956 when Rosa Parks stood firm and said that she wasn't going to, give up her seat on a Montgomery, Alabama bus. It started the bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama, and really started the modern civil rights movement. But with respect to transit, we certainly want to encourage, all members of our community to use transit, and this is a way for us to say we stand with the spirit of what Rosa Parks did. We want to make our transit system available. So this is a small way of recognizing sacrifices that she and so many others made, but also our commitment to equity and the delivery of transit services.
Okay, very good. So that will start off the agenda, and then as we get into the consent agenda, several items there. There is one big project, and this is for it's a public works contract for some road construction.
Yeah, it's the area pretty much east of Sawyer Street and north of Coolidge. So it's Tyler, Bauman, Coolidge itself, to do street reconstruction in that area and get sidewalks in there. Council did discuss this earlier because they took out some sidewalk that was proposed for Coolidge Avenue, and I know there's some a proposed development that still has to go through the Plan Commission for an expansion of that marina on Bauman Street, and that may involve a widening of that street that would be paid for with that development, assuming it's approved. So this is almost a $5.7 million contract award. So it's well over $6 million when you add everything together. But this is our continuing commitment to improve our streets in all areas of town. And this is certainly long overdue. And we don't just do the street itself. We really take a look at the utilities that are beneath it, get those up to modern standards. And so it's going to be a busy, dusty summer over there.
Sure.
I'll ask all the residents over there, please, be patient. But once it's done, you'll be able to enjoy a brand new street and all the benefits that go along with that.
Well, even though it's winter, we're already talking about some things coming up. So it's getting into the season. Okay, then we also have an item here, a Vibrant Spaces Program Grant. And I know that the city is working with the Business Improvement District with this.
Yeah, the Business Improvement District is technically a part of the city, but the grant program is offered through the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, and they do require the city to be the applicant for it. But we're really just taking credit for all of the legwork that Jessica Meidel over at the Convention and Visitors Bureau, who is the staff to the Business Improvement District. This is a $65,000 plus project that's going to be art, lighting, seating, planters, and it's that alley between, if you're going from Algoma, between Carrot and Kale and the House of Heroes. But this, just a few different examples of shots of where this is. But it's about adding vibrancy to the downtown by taking some of these alleys, which are public right-of-way, to spruce them up a little bit, make them attractive, and then actually put programmed activities in the alley so people going by can say, hey, what's going on here? And really learn about all these different things that are going on in the different businesses. So a lot of the businesses there, and I mentioned two of them, but you also have Ruby Owl, Jambalaya, some other businesses there. And it's really it's attracting people to go into the doors by putting activity in the alleys that will help promote the businesses even better. So we're real excited about doing this. They've raised, or they're close to raising $32,000, $750. A lot of great partners in the community, and there's a thing that says an ask of Go EDC. Go EDC actually approved that just the other day. So they're well on their way to get their fundraising goal to get this $65,000 alley improvement project going.
So there's actually no city funding going into this.
Not a bit, which
Okay.
is really exciting when the philanthropic and private sector really step up to help improve an area that will help all of downtown.
Okay, excellent. All right, then we also have a cooperative purchase for the Oshkosh Police Department for some new vehicles, and it's always great when we can save money by doing these cooperative purchase arrangements.
Correct. We work with the state of Wisconsin, which does bidding for police vehicles and so many other vehicles, but we regularly purchase a small replacement of our fleet every single year, and this is an example of our modern day squad car. But it's with the Ewald Automotive Group. That's the group that got the state bid, and so we take advantage of some great pricing that's available, and that helps save the taxpayers money, and that's what this is all about.
And I know there's several items on the agenda that are kind of in the same vein, saving money by doing some cooperative purchases there.
Yeah, it's a pretty common thing that we do, but the one police vehicles, we're spending over $200,000. That one draws people's attention.
Right, absolutely. Okay. Also under consent, we have intergovernmental cooperation agreement, and this is between the city and the Oshkosh Area School District, and this is for the operation of the Pollock Community Water Park.
It sure is, and it's not anything new. We have been working with the Oshkosh Area School District for many years on staffing the pool, because year-round, the school district gets lifeguards to staff their own pools, and so it just makes sense that we have a similar employer. So we work with them, we reimburse them for the lifeguards to get that done. And then our agreement also calls for our patrons at the pool to be able to use the parking lot over at Oshkosh West to clear the street there to make it safer for people crossing the street and whatnot. And then also the school district does contribute a little bit towards the operations of the pool in recognition that the school district is not just within the city, it has other areas. So it's their part to help younger individuals who may not live in the city to be able to enjoy Pollock Community Water Park as well.
Okay, very good. Great example of cooperation there with the school district. Okay, also under new ordinances, we have an item, and this is for, if you can clarify this a little bit, Mark, it's a property that's over close to the Boatworks property?
Yeah, it's a rezoning of some property that's been over there, and so give everybody an orientation. There's our old sanitation garage that we still haven't torn down yet. We're in the process of tearing it down, but we would like to see some, collaboration in terms of a vision for what this area will look like in the sanitation garage to get it zoned consistent with the Boatworks property. So you'll see the property in blue there. That's the what's getting the zone changed, and then it'll turn to green just like the surrounding properties on three sides. It's adjacent to a residential area just south of 4th, but above that we would like to work with whomever's developing the Boatworks property. We may actually end up selling that to them at a certain point to keep it really consistent. But the idea is it's putting in a riverfront overlay, which has certain standards being so close to the river. But we've got that park that we developed over there, adding the Boatworks property, and this will really help improve that area and make it attractive for people to come visit, as well as, if we get some development there, some people to live.
And that area really has improved and is really coming along, so it's great to see.
Yeah, it's making great progress. Obviously, we're also encouraged by the fact that Theta Care is going to be putting in a facility right there at 6th and Oregon, which is really close to this as well. So you're going to have between Oregon Street and Ohio Street some really great development going on.
Okay, very good. Then under new resolutions, we have an item, create a ad hoc council subcommittee to review city boards, commissions, and committees. And so they're taking a look at things. This might be maybe some housekeeping?
Yeah, well, it may be a little more than housekeeping because we've got some challenges. I had done as staff a report for council back in 2016, and it was taking a look at the condition or the number of boards and commissions and should we be doing something different. And the council did actually consolidate 2 boards and commissions, but then a year later they added one. So we've really only had a net reduction of 1 board or commission.
Okay.
But now we got some issues that are not necessarily related to the board or commission, but certainly things we got to address. The commitment of staff time, particularly our Department of Community Development, which staffs 11 of our 23 boards and commissions.
Okay.
So we have more boards and commissions than other comparable cities, so that's an issue for us. We need to review the purpose of these different committees and see if it's something that is still needed. And that's why I'm recommending that this be done by the council, because that really does get into the policy realm, which I think is more appropriate for the council to be discussing. I can talk to them about staff impacts and things like that, but they're the ones who are going to decide, is the committee doing what it was intended to do? And if not, should we consider changing that? And that's entirely up to them. And then the other challenge council has is finding people. We've had a real challenge, and I know some people are serving on multiple boards and commissions because of so many vacancies. And I encourage people to sign up for the boards and commissions. We've got, all the vacancies are listed on our website, but there may be a situation there, less is more with fewer committees may actually make them more attractive and more effective. So that's something I think council is going to want to look at. So this is the start of that process.
Okay, and it'll be an ongoing conversation, I'm sure. Okay, well, I think that's about the time that we have. We had a variety of things to talk about today. Thank you again for your insights today.
Always a pleasure, Andy.
All right, and thank you for joining us today as well. Again, that Oshkosh Common Council meeting is at 6 o'clock this Tuesday, January 24th. That's at City Hall, which is at 215 Church Avenue. And you can watch it live on GovTV, Spectrum Channel 10, UVerse Channel 99, streaming on YouTube and OshkoshMedia.org. Or you can listen on the radio, that's Oshkosh FM 101.9, which is also online and on the TuneIn Radio app for phones and tablets. You can also use your favorite streaming device, including Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV. Just search for the Oshkosh Media app. And you can always visit the YouTube channel for government meeting archives and the full library of Oshkosh Media programming. So again, join us in 3 weeks for another City Managers Report. Thanks for watching.